All right, so Steph from the Resilient Jenkins has now posted a long video explaining the comment that caused a lot of backlash online. You know, the one where people thought Drew called one of the kids Fussy. And Steph is now trying to clear that up.
I know I'm not the only one because I get DMs from people that they totally understand. Because it's 4:30 and this is the first time I'm looking in a freaking mirror, and sometimes I scare the heck out of myself when that's the case because what? Look, sometimes I feel that Drew and I are both guilty of the same thing when it comes to we just post how we would speak in person, and like if you knew us it would come across differently, and like we don't think in the mindset how is it going to come off to the public, what are they going to spin, because we just want to be normal ass fucking people, which God forbid, you know what I'm saying? I get it, I do get it, because from a sense of not dealing with the drama, I should have done it and maybe it would have been a wonderful ass approach, but it's not true to me to be unauthentic and not like true to what the emotion is in that moment. I posted something yesterday in my sub only. Again, if you've seen it, like people freaking share my sub only anyway, so I'm sure it's been just seen. And I don't really give a fuck what people decide to spin from what comments I made during that video. Now, like especially like one comment that I keep like thinking about, people are just gonna have fun with that one, is when I said he said he didn't want to deal with that fussy shit when he gets home from work. He's not saying like, well, he wasn't calling one of the kids that. He was talking about how our son was just super, he's been fussy on his seizure medication. And that's a symptom that is to be expected with a lot of seizure medication. I mean, I feel like, and especially like with the autism, that probably intensifies it. Sorry, I'm not trying to be too loud. And I get it. Like coming home from work, overstimulated, tired, just ready to just get some sleep, and it's like to really like to come home. But that's just parenthood in my opinion, and I'm definitely guilty of being overstimulated. I would never claim perfection either. That's why I don't give a fuck like if people want to sit here and be like, she's crazy for doing this, she's crazy, you know what I mean? Bro, I don't care how you perceive me necessarily, because I don't want to be unauthentic and just pick these moments where we're perfect and this is all you guys should see. I don't even get that mindset completely. I do sort of, but I don't at the same time. I do. I understand people just wanting to look put together. Is that always the case for you? Always put together? What is wrong with sharing all of the moments, all of the ups and downs? I don't see something wrong with it. And if people call you crazy because of it, they're going to anyways. If they're gonna have that opinion, they're just going to anyways, is what I'm trying to say. I do want to elaborate more on what I was talking about in that video, but I do feel like it's gonna be multiple videos, because even this one's gonna be a little bit freaking long. I just put my hair up the same fucking way, whatever. I cannot wait to just have clothes that make me feel like myself, bro. I think it's crazy that people think I voluntarily dress like this. No, but I'll be damned if I buy myself anything right now until the kids' needs are met, and let's be realistic. That's a big thing. The kids need a lot more than just a home. They need a lot of stuff, and that's not, I don't want anyone fixing that except me and Drew. That's for us to fix. Part of what I was speaking about was like how I don't understand why it just seems like in his social media he just gives off this perception of he's so low me. Like, I don't know if anybody else, maybe I'm just being hypercritical because I got my own fucking issue. Like I said, I was talking about like abandonment issue. It's something I need to work on within myself, and I'm not afraid to like admit that it's part of my personality that work on that shit. But it's not how he is with our family. I just don't like, why can't we just put that family content out that as our family, because as a family I feel like we have so much more to offer as a family. Like, I wanted to put more of that wholesome family content out, and I know people have their things about family content, and I completely agree with a lot of it, because I guess you don't really put in your, like, yes, duh, you don't know until you actually fucking know the depth of how crazy people are when you start to actually deal with a little bit more of it. And okay, this is to the degree of how more careful I should have been, but at the same time people dig and they find stuff and they make stuff up, and especially with like AI, it's kind of like, I also agree with like just put your life out there, because people are gonna sit there and say anyways, and like, live your fucking life. You have only one of them. Anyways, this always seems to be like some whole ass conversation because I don't, I just don't have the time to talk until all of a sudden I have the time just to ramble at all.
According to Steph, when Drew said he didn't want to deal with that fussy stuff when he got home from work, he wasn't talking about one of the kids directly. She says he was referring to their son struggling with his seizure, medication which she says can make him irritable and overstimulated. Steph also mentioned their son is autistic and that the medication can make those symptoms even harder for him. But the video wasn't just about that comment. Steph also opened up and said she has abandonment issues that she's trying to work through, and she admitted sometimes she might be overly critical because of her own personal struggles. Then she said something that people might find interesting. Steph said she doesn't understand why Drew's social media sometimes gives the impression that he's doing everything on his own because she feels like they have so much more to offer as a family. She also said she'd like to share more wholesome family content. Together, Steph ended the video by saying that people online will twist things. Anyway, so she'd rather just be authentic and show the ups and downs of real life instead of pretending everything is perfect. 1. Do you think people misunderstood what Drew meant by the fussy comment? 2. Or do you think the way it was said still sounded wrong? 3. Do you think Steph explaining it changes anything for you? 4. Do you think Drew's social car media sometimes makes it look like he's doing everything alone? 5. Should family creators show the real ups and downs or keep some things offline? Let me know what you think in the comments, because with family creators, what we see online is usually only a small part of the story.